guys. That sounded so weird. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Pro Cheerleading Podcast. It is almost Thanksgiving Eve, and I debated whether I was even going to go on for Cheer Chat, but guess what? Here I am, and I'm excited to talk to you guys about this episode, this double episode you're going to get this week. And I'll wait a couple of minutes and then get started, okay? Hi in YouTube land. You guys, I'm trying to do this whole double camera situation, and I think I show more love on Instagram with my attention, so forgive me, you guys, but I'm trying to get used to it. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'll just start with my day. I had my performance review with my boss today. It's been just over a year since I've been at my current job. And you guys know how that goes. It's just kind of like a lot of nerves because you don't really know if they're about to say something that you don't want to hear or just what kind of feedback you'll get. I think it went well, I mean, it's been a busy year and, a lot happened. I learned a lot and, of course I did good at my job. I mean, I think it went well, but it just made me think of just like that, all of that angst that builds up towards that initial conversation, especially when you're starting a new job. But it also made me think about gosh, in our space, with Pro Cheer, do we ever have any sort of mechanism to provide feedback the other direction where our directors get to hear from us about how good of a job we think they're doing? And these are thoughts that are running through my head, of course, as I'm getting my performance review. They call them 360s where you give your boss some feedback. We didn't have that. And not that I had anything critical to say, but as I was preparing for this episode, I was just like, I wonder if we ever really have a safe path to kind of give feedback in terms of how our directors are doing as managers. And it made me also think of the amazing interview with Sabrina Ellison and just the overwhelmingly positive feedback she got from her dancers. So I don't know if you guys, I realized that with the podcast that I have not interviewed any NFL directors, not really anything intentional. It's just been relatively easy to hear from the NBA directors in this space. But I'm curious, for the NFL, I know I've tried to reach out to a couple of directors, but you guys know that this is kind of you tell me what you think and doesn't have to go anywhere. But I'm curious, if you guys feel like you have a relationship with your directors where you can raise any concerns and issues. I know when we interviewed Candace a couple years ago, please, that was last year. But just trying to understand that give and take in terms of communication. And it sounded like it was pretty open on the Washington football team with their director. But let us know, how you guys feel about that. Is it open enough where you can bring things to the forefront that you're concerned about? Do you fear, retaliation, getting any kind of trouble, being pegged as a troublemaker? Because I think that's the hard part. There were a couple things, you guys know my mouth. I don't really hold back what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling at any given point. It wasn't so much in my relationship with my manager, but just how I felt about the company as a whole. And, there is that concern, and it's relatively reasonable to be concerned about being pegged as somebody who's not drinking the Kool-Aid. And I don't typically drink the Kool-Aid, and I think, you just have to be mindful of that, consequence, if you will, for speaking out. But it just made me think about it. It's on my mind. I'm still processing my review, but you guys let me know, do you feel empowered to speak up to your directors? Do you have a really, really awesome, amazing director that you think would be an awesome guest on the show? Let me know. I'm happy to reach out and see what they say. But I think it's good for us to be able to voice those, not even concerns. It's feedback, positive praise, things they can work on. And maybe we'll just have a director feedback-ish episode where we talk about what we wish they would consider or what we wish they knew in terms of how we felt in a very anonymous way, right? Where nobody's putting their self on Front Street. So just a thought. came across my mind today, like I said, from having my review. But, it is the week of Thanksgiving. I hope everybody is like staying put, not necessarily traveling or being extremely safe when they travel. And just, being mindful that this is a time to be with your family and loved ones in spirit, and hopefully just as safe as possible in person. Um, I'm laying really low. I will say every year I make this 5 cheese macaroni and cheese. It's hella good. Everybody loves it. That's kind of the one dish I have to bring to everything. Um, and I'm actually going to miss it because I don't want to cook the whole dang on meal. Like, I talked to the kids and I was just like, do you guys really want to do Thanksgiving? Thinking they'd be like, oh, no, we don't need to. And they were like, of course, they want to eat all the food in the house. So I'm making a mini Thanksgiving dinner with some yams, some mac and cheese, and a turkey breast. And just God help me through it, because I like making one dish and eating everybody else's cooking. That's my jam. But anyway, I hope you guys do have a safe one. I figured, should I take the week off or should I? But I'm just so dang on excited about this episode. We're interviewing Kayla Marie Jackson. She is an artist, a performer, actress, you name it. She's all over Cisco, the choreographer's Instagram today. She put out her whole body yaddy yaddy challenge, and she's just super talented. And like I told you guys before, our conversation spanned over hours, and she's just got lots of experience from her transition cheering with or dancing for the Atlanta Hawks, and building a commercial career and resume that's pretty dang on impressive. So a lot of editing, but you guys bear with me. It will not be up at like 6 a.m. like I normally do, but excited to share that with you while you have the whole weekend to eat and hopefully work out, dance, take some classes, work it off. You can also just listen to this episode that I've yet to name, but I will. It'll come to me. Let's talk about, for Cheer Chat, the poll of the week. I was not trying to stir up controversy. I admit that I personally was all caught up in this other challenge that was out like right before Megan's song came out, but it was one by Bria Woods. I'm assuming I'm saying her name right, but she's a choreographer, creative, singer, actress, you name it. Well, not the actress, she's a dancer. But anyway, but she did one of the P.D. Pablo's like How You Like It song from way back when, and it was just a good old twerk, not ratchet, but just, fun. Lots of videos that were coming up for that challenge. And then here we get hit with the Body Yachty challenge. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, of course, nobody that I follow that's a pro dancer or cheerleader currently on a team has posted anything like that. But I was just like, okay, I wonder if this is something that we wish we could partake in, that we absolutely wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. And then the only reason why I posted the question of like, is it too much or is it just all in fun, was because Jaquel Knight, who he's amazing, choreographer, creative. I mean, he's done, if you don't know who he is, look him up. I mean, there's just, the resume is this long. But he had posted some of the people who were participating in the challenge, doing the choreography from Megan Thee Stallion's performance and video. And the first video was of a kid, I don't know how old. And she's just doing, and I'm not going to dance, oh my God, I'm not. But she's just doing the challenge, not twerking. It was just all of the leg work in the very beginning. And it just made me pause because, like, we know that this isn't for kids, right? Like, it's not intended for them, but they're the first ones to catch on to something, right? And it just made me think, like, is it getting a little too overly sexualized? And knowing that it's just so accessible. Somebody wrote in and mentioned that she teaches second grade, but it's like really, really easy for these kids to like watch their older siblings or watch their mama, I don't know, and pick up and soak it up like a sponge. And, I don't want to sound old or old fashioned, but it's just kind of like, okay, how do these challenges like take on their own steam? And like, it's, if you see like an 80-year-old grandma doing it, it'd probably be like, oh my gosh, everybody's just having fun with it. So it's kind of cuts both ways. I try not to judge. I know I'm sensitive about kids and what they're exposed to, or just at least just having a conversation. And I had to think back, like with my daughter, Simone, I'm sure she's seen me doing quite a few dances over the years. And she's never really like caught on to try to like do anything like that, and she would die about even trying to do a challenge with me today or anything like that. But it just makes you think, like, would I want her emulating me in that way when it's not really like age appropriate? But again, it makes you feel like a granny. I mean, I'm like wearing a sweater. I don't know. But I just wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on it because I'm definitely not one. It's fun to watch. It's fun to see people get like united around dancing. It's good to see people dancing and having fun with choreography. It's just, when you think about what we're consuming, especially in terms of social media, it's a lot of that. And I was curious how you guys felt about it. So everybody who's joined, thank you for joining. Let me know what you think. I mean, let's see. The last time I checked, 40% said it is too much, and 60% said no, it's all in fun. So I think that speaks for itself in terms of like how this community feels. I think, there's a balance, and you guys each have your own brand with your following. And if you're doing the challenges or if you're, promoting anything on your own social media, I mean, it speaks to a very broad audience. So you just have to, I guess, be mindful of that, but have fun with it if you're doing it. I think it's amazing choreography and everybody's body looks amazing and blah, blah, blah. But I had to ask, what's so cool about talking to Kayla was just that, when you are an artist and you're taking on different jobs or you're wanting to kind of break that mold, it's almost like, being a Disney kid actor or actress and then wanting to take on roles that put you in different lights and where it really challenges and pushes you. And I think that's just something that you'll hear in the interview with her, just like how to kind of break that mold and really put yourself in different settings and environments where you can showcase a lot more diversity as an artist. And I think that's something that you were limited from when you're on a pro cheer team or dance team. I mean, let's be real, you can't, like if I put a body, I'm trying to think if when I was dancing with the Seahawks, if I put any sort of dance challenge, like a heels class, like things, well, actually I did let me think about it. I did the Aisha Francis class. I felt like on top of the world. This was like years ago after it. And I sure as hell posted that stuff on Facebook. I was just so excited because I got to take class with her and she's so freaking amazing that I think I forgot about anything and everything. It's not like I was half dressed, but there's just those things that you have to think about, especially when you are representing a brand, whether it's your own brand or your pro sports team. But I had to put that question out there. I love hearing from you guys and what your thoughts are. And I think people were cool with it, except just, when you see kids consuming it in a way that might not necessarily be like, it's just conflicting in terms of the message that it sends. So definitely would love to hear from anybody who wants to comment there or there. But what else did I want to talk about? Because it's Thanksgiving, I just wanted to reflect a little bit, not to get mushy, but, this has been a rough year and everybody's tired of talking about it and we're almost at the end, right? We're almost in December, but I am trying to be in a space of gratitude. And I just want to say that I think, things are just starting to, I won't even say like make sense. I mean, I'm not trying to get philosophical either, but, you go through different hardships and struggles in life and it's preparing you in some weird way that you can't make sense of at the time, but it's almost just like it's building towards something bigger, something greater. And I don't know what that is, what that looks like. I think it's been a really tough year, but I'm just grateful for, the space to reflect on what I'm even grateful for. I mean, there's a lot I think it's just your perspective of how you want to look at life and promise and hope, and I don't ever want to reach a space or just reach it for too long where I kind of lose hope for my future and, thinking about my kids' future. And I know it's really ugly right now, but I'm thankful that, there's been space to think about what all we've been through. And just thinking that there's going to be light at the end of this freaking tunnel. Like I just refuse to believe otherwise. I think it's just been a slow moving process, but we're going to get there. And I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for all the lessons that I've been able to learn along the way and the tighter relationships that I have with my friends and family. And I just encourage everybody to reflect on that too over this holiday weekend. I know it may not be the way that you would like to spend the holidays. Again, I'd rather eat everybody else's food and be in my good company of my family, my larger family, but I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for the people that are in it, and that includes you guys. And I'm thankful for another season. I still can't, stress it enough that there's a lot of good things coming your way. And I look forward to sharing that with you. I'm sorry, I have to share it because it's just exciting, but the hair episode, I got my panel together and I'm so freaking excited. We're going to be taping next weekend. Is that next weekend? It is next weekend. So just exciting things coming. And I think it'll be good content, good food for thought for us as we finish up this freaking 2020. Does anybody have anything that they want to say before I kick it off to the interview with our girl, Kayla Marie Jackson? I just love saying her whole full name. I don't know if she wants that, but Kayla Marie Jackson just sounds so official. But if not, I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Be safe, travel safe, eat wonderfully, cook well. Wish me luck with my meal tomorrow. And enjoy this 2-part episode. There's plenty of time to consume it over the weekend, and let me know your feedback and show our girl Kayla Marie some love. All right, you guys, I'm gonna wait a minute, but if not, you guys have a good night.